My beloved child, this message did not find you by accident. It was released into the atmosphere with your name woven into every word. If your spirit has felt unsettled lately, if dreams have grown louder, and if the silence in your surroundings has begun to feel heavy, listen. Heaven is not silent, and neither is your soul. There are moments in life when time slows down, not to pause, but to prepare. This is one of those moments, a sacred pause in your journey, not to stop you, but to alert you. Something buried is stirring beneath the layers, not just in your life, but in your bloodline. I do not come to you with loud thunder or blinding fire. I come with something far more powerful, clarity. And it is this clarity that will begin to dissolve every illusion placed before your eyes. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange discomfort around certain people. The sense that something remains unsaid in the rooms you walk through. That eerie stillness before a conversation ends. The smiles that don't quite reach the eyes. This is not paranoia. This is spiritual awareness. There is a reason your discernment has sharpened, a reason the past refuses to stay buried, because something hidden, something old, is pushing its way to the surface. This secret, child, has traveled through generations, in silence, carried in the shadows, passed through whispers, wrapped in guilt and guarded by fear. It was never meant to stay buried forever, and now it has reached you because you are the breaker. You were never meant to be the one to carry the weight. You were meant to be the one to release it. But understand this, revelation does not come gently. Truth is not delivered with a ribbon. It often arrives with disruption, with unrest, with a trembling in your spirit that you cannot explain. And that is what you've been feeling lately. There is an invisible unraveling taking place. Threads of denial are coming undone. The atmosphere is shifting, not against you, but because of you, because when a soul awakens to its assignment, everything around it must respond. The people, the silence, the dreams, the discomfort. It is all part of the same divine orchestration. Right now, even as you hear these words, your spirit is recognizing what your mind has tried to suppress. Not all wounds bleed visibly. Some echo quietly through generations, wearing masks of tradition and duty, but you were never created to pretend. You were born to perceive, and what you've been perceiving, even if you didn't have the words for it yet, it was real. The tension in your chest is not random. The tightness in your voice when speaking about certain memories is not coincidence. These are spiritual tremors, the warning signs that the earth beneath you is ready to break. Open, and you, child of light, are standing at the fault line, but do not fear the shaking, because what shakes must also release. And what releases reveals, and what is revealed finally can be healed. Heaven does not stir you for nothing. If you are here, it is because something divine has found you. It has marked you, and now it demands your attention. You will notice this message echo through your life. Over the next few hours, signs will begin to multiply. A sentence overheard, a dream remembered, a sudden wave of emotion in an unexpected moment. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Pay attention. You are being drawn not just into knowledge, but into divine responsibility. Someone in your family, someone connected to you by bond or blood, carried a truth they never dared to speak. They believed silence was protection. But heaven does not operate in silence. Heaven operates in truth, and it has waited patiently for a vessel willing to listen. That vessel is you. This secret, this dark, unspoken thread, was passed along with the hope that someone would be strong enough to break it. Someone would be wise enough to recognize it. Someone would be bold enough to confront it. That someone is the one listening now. This is not about stirring up pain. This is about ending it. You are not here to be swallowed by what they refuse to face. You are here to be the storm that ends the drought. The voice that breaks the silence. The light that makes the shadow tremble. You are not losing your mind, child. You are aligning with your assignment. Everything that once confused you will now begin to make sense. The disconnects, the patterns, the energy you feel around certain people, it all begins to clarify now. Because when truth is revealed, perception sharpens. And you are seeing clearly. But remember this, not everyone will celebrate your clarity. Some have found comfort in concealment. They have built lives upon the foundation of not knowing. And when you arrive with your light, their shadows will resist you. Do not let their resistance become your silence. You do not owe anyone your silence. You owe your spirit its freedom, and this is your time to be free. As this message continues, I urge you to stay grounded. Let no distraction pull you from this moment. What is being opened cannot be undone. The scroll has been unsealed. The light has entered, and heaven watches as you choose what comes next. Comment below only if this reached you in the deepest place, not out of obligation, but as confirmation. I know I was meant to hear this. Your journey has begun, not with noise, but with knowing. And now it is time to walk toward the next door, not with fear, but with fire. Child of divine breath. There's something I must tell you now, something that could not be revealed until this very hour. The silence you've carried was never truly silent. It was filled with the weight of generations, layered with echoes, shadows, and unspoken names. What you believed to be stillness was a sanctuary for a truth too heavy for others to speak. But you were always meant to hear it. Your spirit, so often misunderstood, was designed to pick up on vibrations others could not feel. That discomfort you experienced in familiar places was not anxiety. It was discernment. The sense of watching eyes, of incomplete conversations, of sudden coldness in warm rooms. It was never your imagination. It was your inheritance of awareness. And now that awareness is blooming into awakening. Listen carefully, beloved one. You were not sent into this family to blend in. You were placed here to bring light into spaces that had long accepted darkness as normal, not to shame anyone, not to confront with pride, but to restore through truth. And restoration always begins with revelation. Someone close to you, maybe even someone you trusted deeply, has been carrying something they never wanted you to know. Not out of malice, but out of fear. They thought if the truth stayed buried, the pain would too. But secrets do not dissolve. They grow roots. They twist through bloodlines. They distort love. And now that root is surfacing. Because you're strong enough to handle what they could not. Heaven is unveiling this moment not to wound you, but to prepare you. Because what's coming next isn't just a whisper from the past. It's a breakthrough for your future. For years, there have been patterns you couldn't explain, cycles that repeated in silence, emotional storms that seemed to appear without cause. But now, the cause is being revealed. The silence that once confused you is giving way to clarity. You will begin to remember things, not with your mind, but with your body. A sudden heaviness, a quickened breath, a tightening in your spirit when you hear certain names or walk into certain rooms. This is your divine intelligence awakening. Do not brush it off. What you feel is real. You are not just hearing this message, you are embodying it. Heaven is not simply speaking to you, it is moving through you. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, sword drawn, not to strike in rage, but to defend in righteousness. There are things that have followed your bloodline for too long, spirits of suppression, shadows of shame, cycles of silence, and now they tremble because you, chosen one, are awake. They never expected you to wake up. They never thought you'd question the version of reality they built, but your soul remembers what your mind was taught to forget. This is the moment when your lineage bends toward healing because of you. But be warned, The unveiling of truth does not come without resistance. There will be moments in the next few days when people from your past will suddenly reach out. They may appear kind, they may speak in soft tones, but beneath their words, there will be one motive: control. Do not be deceived. Not every voice that speaks peace carries the spirit of peace. Some are simply afraid of what you now see, afraid of what you might say, afraid that their carefully crafted story will crumble in the light of your awakening. They may try to twist your memories, reframe the past, blame your sensitivity. But hold steady, child. What heaven confirms, no man can deny. What you feel in your soul has already been verified in the spirit. Type nothing, say nothing. Let your silence remain sacred, because your silence now is no longer weakness. It is wisdom, it is strategy, it is protection. Archangel Michael says this: "They mistook your gentleness for blindness, but the light you carry exposes what eyes refuse to see." There will be a moment, sudden, sharp, and undeniable, when confirmation will arrive, perhaps in a dream, perhaps in a phrase spoken carelessly by someone who thinks you've forgotten. And when it comes, don't flinch, don't react in fear, simply breathe. You are ready. You've been prepared for this long before you knew what it was, and still you will be tempted to explain yourself, tempted to prove your purity, tempted to argue, to correct, to expose, but do not waste the oil of your anointing on fires not lit by heaven. This battle is not yours. It is divine. Let truth defend you. Let light protect you. Let silence sharpen you. You will notice them watching you now more than ever, listening for your tone, waiting for your response, measuring your calm. This is not curiosity, it is panic, because your peace has become their mirror. And in that mirror, they see the unraveling of their false security. Do not give them what they seek. Give them stillness. Let your composure declare the truth they fear to face. Archangel Michael has stationed angels around you, not just to protect you, but to preserve what you're about to walk into. You will not exit this season broken. You will emerge burning, clear, clean, unshaken, unapologetic. You are not here to carry their shame. You are here to carry your purpose. And now that purpose is activating. The path is opening, the fog is lifting, and the fire in your chest is not rage. It is calling. Let it burn. Do not run from the discomfort. Do not shrink to make them more comfortable. This light inside you, it was never meant to be dimmed. For the sake of their illusion, you are not the one destroying the family. You are the one God is using to finally deliver it. Stay close. Stay grounded, stay ready, because what comes next is the unveiling, and the truth once seen cannot be unseen. Beloved one, there is a weight you've been carrying, not on your shoulders, but in your spirit. You may not remember where it began. You may not have the names or the events or the dates, but the burden, it's been there, resting behind your smile, whispering in your silence, pressing against your chest when you try to speak the things no one else dares to say. This burden is not yours alone. It has passed through bloodlines, shaped by silence and sealed by fear. A dark thread, not born from your choices, but entangled with your very presence. And now, this thread is unraveling, not because someone confessed, but because heaven intervened. Heaven has seen enough. You are no longer required to hold your breath in rooms where truth is forbidden. You are not expected to shrink in spaces that distort your light. You have been silent not because you lacked words, but because your spirit was waiting for the exact moment when the truth would stand beside you. That moment is now. Archangel Michael speaks. What they feared most was not your anger. It was your clarity, because clarity is louder than confrontation, and your clarity has arrived. There are things being said about you, behind doors you've never walked through, eyes watching, ears listening, not to celebrate but to contain. There are whispers, not out of hatred but out of fear, because your presence, your truth, unravels every lie they've carefully constructed. But child, listen. You are not called to chase every rumor. You are not sent to correct every distortion. The battle you face is not against tongues, it is against spirits. And spirits do not yield to argument. They yield to authority, and your authority is rising. You are awakening not just to what was hidden, but to who you are. The one chosen to see what others avoided, the one appointed to disrupt what others tolerated. You are the divine interruption to a generational deception, and that is why the atmosphere has shifted around you. Have you noticed it? The change in tone when you enter a room, the hesitation in their eyes, the sudden kindness that feels forced. These are not coincidences. These are symptoms of a secret reaching its expiration. The truth is growing restless, and heaven is clearing a path. Do not be surprised if in the next 72 hours you receive a message, a call, a knock, a post, an accidental conversation. It may look harmless, it may feel familiar, but beneath it, a test waits. A test not of your strength but of your silence, because they want to know how much you know. They want to measure your wisdom. They want to bait your clarity. But child, do not engage. Let your stillness speak. Let your elevation be your answer. Your peace will provoke more than your proof ever could. This is why you've been called to stand still, not because you're powerless, but because you're protected. Archangel Michael stands beside you, sword unsheathed, not to harm but to guard. Every attempt to disturb your atmosphere will be met with divine resistance, because you are not here to perform, you are here to prevail, and still you will feel the pull. The old version of you, the one who needed to explain, to fix, to earn validation, may rise up, but release it. That version of you was molded in survival. You no longer need to survive. You are stepping into sovereignty. Your silence is not submission, it is sacred. Your clarity is not rebellion, it is revelation. And your presence, it is prophecy in motion. You were sent into your family not to inherit their fears, but to transform their legacy. You were never supposed to continue what broke others. You were chosen to end it, and yes, that comes with tension, with isolation, with misunderstanding. But it also comes with power, with protection, with purpose. There is a conversation happening in the shadows, and your name is in it. But heaven is in the room too, recording every lie, marking every distortion, watching every attempt to undermine your destiny. And child, nothing escapes divine awareness. Michael whispers now. They think they know your story, but they've only heard the version that served their comfort. But heaven knows the truth, and it will not stay hidden. This is your moment of reckoning, not with people, but with patterns. You are not breaking ties. You are breaking chains. You are not betraying your family. You are betraying the silence that betrayed you. If you feel something stirring in your spirit as these words reach you, acknowledge it. This is not just a message. This is a mantle, and it's being placed on you. Let the tears fall if they must. Let the anger rise and pass. Let the weight speak. Because what you're feeling is the release of generations. You are not cursed. You are not crazy. You are the chosen one. Stay anchored. Stay quiet. Stay firm. In the next chapter of this revelation, the secret will try to speak back. But remember, you are not called to argue with shadows. You are called to shine. My child, there is something happening that your eyes cannot yet name, but your soul already recognizes. It's in the way the air shifts when certain names are spoken. It's in the sudden weariness you feel when old places call you back. It's in the pulse of your own intuition, no longer a whisper, but a thunder beneath the surface. You are not imagining it. The atmosphere around you is responding to what heaven has already declared. The secret is no longer safe. What was once protected by silence is now being pursued by light. Not to harm, but to heal. Not to shame, but to restore. And that restoration begins with unsettling clarity. You may notice the people around you becoming quieter, guarded. Not because they are confused, but because they are convicted. They can sense it, that you see more than you're supposed to. That your silence is not innocence, it is insight. You were not meant to be blind to the storm that shaped your family. You were meant to name it. You were meant to still it. But to still the storm, you must first stand in its center without flinching. And that is what heaven is preparing you to do. You may start receiving messages in the most unusual forms, a memory reawakened, a sentence overheard, a facial expression that lingers too long. These are not random, these are not coincidence. These are spiritual confirmations, divine timestamps, proof that the veil is lifting and the truth is walking toward you. Stay alert, because the next attempt won't be loud. It will be subtle. It will come wearing the face of concern. It will speak softly, even kindly, but beneath the words will be one goal: to cause you to doubt what you already know. But child, you do know. You've always known. Your discernment has never been broken. It's just been ignored. There were moments in your life where you questioned yourself, felt like maybe you were too sensitive, too emotional, too watchful. But those very traits were never flaws. They were divine gifts, given for this moment. Archangel Michael speaks now. They will accuse you of imagining things, not because they believe that, but because they fear what you've imagined. Might be true, and it is. You have stepped into a new realm of spiritual sight, and now even the unseen trembles when you walk by. Because those who have hidden behind rehearsed stories know that light sees through costume. And child, you are light. You are not the destroyer of peace. You are the revealer of truth. Let that truth move quietly through you. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. This season does not require your voice to be louder. It requires your presence to be anchored. They are watching you now, not with love, not with curiosity, but with fear. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your stillness has become a mirror, and in that mirror their silence breaks. You may feel their distance now. You may notice their conversations shift, the warmth replaced by caution. Do not let it confuse you. It is not rejection, it is revelation. You are witnessing what fear looks like when it recognizes authority. And heaven is guarding your authority. You are not just enduring the silence, you are mastering it. Because silence in the hands of the awakened becomes a weapon. It exposes what noise once concealed, and the noise is getting desperate. But you are getting clearer. You have been assigned to shift the dynamic of an entire bloodline. And the spirits that held that line captive are furious. They do not fear confrontation. They fear discernment. And you, chosen one, are no longer asking questions with your mouth. You are answering them with your energy. Your aura has changed. Walk your eyes, your stillness. All of it carries weight now. The kind of weight that heaven deposits when a soul has proven itself faithful in the dark. And now that light is blooming in you, they don't know how to approach you anymore, but you do not owe them access. Not everyone gets to witness the awakening they tried to prevent. You are not obligated to let them back in just because they suddenly realize you were never blind, only silent. Archangel Michael stands at the door of your spirit now, speaking clearly. Guard your peace like a sacred altar. Not everyone belongs near it. Do not confuse apology with alignment. Do not confuse familiarity with trust. Some voices will speak peace only to steal access. Some arms will reach not to hold you, but to weigh you down. This is your moment to separate what is sacred from what is sentimental, not because you are unkind, but because you are finally clear. You are no longer the version of yourself they once spoke over. You are no longer the mold they tried to keep you in. You are no longer hiding. Heaven is breaking open. The sky's for you now, not to pour out chaos, but to pour out truth. The kind of truth that sets not just you free, but everyone who follows after you. You are not just breaking patterns, you are establishing a new pattern, one that begins with you, but does not end with you. Let them talk. Let them watch. Let them wonder how you remained unbothered, because they will not understand that you were never walking alone. You walk with angels. You walk with revelation. You walk with the sword of truth in your spirit. Even when your hands remain still, what comes next is not the collapse of your life. It is the collapse of the lie. Stand still and watch it fall. My beloved, the moment you chose silence over retaliation, stillness over rage, the realm of spirit took notice. What others thought was passivity was prophecy. What they labeled as withdrawal was divine alignment. You were never retreating, you were receiving. And now what you received is unsettling the very atmosphere around you. There is tension, isn't there? Not the kind that screams, but the kind that presses, that lingers, that waits. You feel it when the phone lights up with familiar names. You sense it when a memory returns without warning. You recognize it in their eyes. The fear of what you might say. They are not afraid of what you've done. They are afraid of what you've discerned. You were not supposed to awaken. You were not supposed to connect the patterns. You were not supposed to carry the courage to call it out, but you did. And now the darkness flinches. Archangel Michael says this now. You were born to be the rupture in the rhythm of generational secrecy, the light that exposes what time tried to hide, what they tried to cover with tradition, what they explained away as family flaws, what they normalized through years of silence. Heaven has declared it ends here. You are not the problem, dear one. You are the answer. You did not ask for this fight, but the battle recognized your light and chose you as its confrontation. And now, everything within you is being called to the front lines, not with weapons of rage, but with the sword of truth. There will be confrontation, yes, but not in the way you expect. It won't be loud, it won't be obvious. It will come in passive tones, half-truths, side glances, innocent questions. It will disguise itself as concern. It will try to appear compassionate. But do not be deceived. This is provocation wearing the mask of peace. The enemy's tactic is no longer destruction. It is distraction, because if he can't destroy your truth, he'll try to distort your focus. Stay grounded. They may try to lure you into conversations that aren't pure. They may drop just enough information to make you wonder. They may twist the past to trigger your voice, but you must not give them your fire. Your peace is not for sale. Your clarity is not up for debate. Your silence is sacred ground, and heaven is watching how you protect it. There is a pattern forming, a setup. A scene is being crafted not to reveal the truth, but to capture your reaction. They don't want healing. They want to regain control. But what they don't understand is you've already shifted. You no longer serve their narrative. You no longer fit their version of you. You no longer carry the shame that kept you compliant. Archangel Michael has stationed angels around your name. Every time it's spoken in deceit, truth records it. Every time it's bent to serve another's agenda, justice notes it. You need not correct it. Heaven will. Right now, in the spirit, a conversation is happening above you. Your name is being affirmed in holy light, not as the one who divided, but as the one who discerned, not as the rebel, but as the restorer. And for that, the shadows tremble. That uneasy feeling in your chest, that weight behind your eyes, that stir in your sleep, those are not signs of weakness. They are signals of awakening. This is spiritual warfare, not against people, but against powers, not against relatives, but against residue. You are not breaking hearts. You are breaking chains. You are not turning. against your blood. You are turning toward your blueprint. The burden you carry is holy. The assignment you walk with is heavy. But you were not left defenseless. Michael whispers now. Your stillness shakes what shouting never could. Your silence speaks where words would only distract. Let that truth settle in your spirit. You will be tempted not once, but repeatedly to explain yourself, to defend your perspective, to justify your distance. But those who truly carry your heart will not require an explanation, and those who demand one never carried yours to begin with. You are not their closure. You are not their clarity. You are the line heaven drew when enough became enough. You've walked through rooms where you were tolerated. Now you are entering spaces where you will be celebrated, not for pretending, but for perceiving. This is not the ending. This is the announcement. The darkness did not expose itself by accident. It came forward because your light demanded it. You have become too radiant to ignore. They do not dislike you. They fear what awakens. When you walk in, they fear the mirror you carry. Let them fear, let them shift, let them guess, but do not shrink. You were made for this tension. You were born for this revelation. And heaven is behind you, beloved one. You have walked through the shadows and never let go of the light. You have stood in the storm without raising your voice. You carried the weight of unspoken truths with grace. And in that silence, heaven wrote your name upon a scroll not many are invited to see. You were not chosen because you were loud. You were chosen because you were faithful. You did not demand recognition. You stood firm while unseen. And now, heaven responds. Archangel Michael speaks. One final word in this season. The silence you honored has spoken in places your voice never reached. And what was revealed in private is now being sealed in glory. This is your divine sealing. You are no longer in the waiting room of your breakthrough. You are in the activation of it. What was once hidden in the dark has been confronted by the truth you carried, and though they tried to cast you aside, you remained planted. Your roots grew beneath the surface, and now the fruit is ready. The reward is not just restoration, it is recognition, not from them, but from heaven. They did not believe in your strength, but heaven did. They misread your silence, but heaven documented every second of it. You are not a victim of this story. You are the vessel through which it is rewritten. Every lie spoken is collapsing. Every twisted narrative is unraveling. Every spiritual assault is being met by divine fire, and you, beloved one, are surrounded. There are angels on each side of you now, not just watching, but guarding. You may feel a fire in your chest, a sudden stillness, a breath that deepens. That is not anxiety. That is the shift. The divine verdict has been released, and it bears your name, not in shame, but in honor. Heaven has placed a seal upon your journey. No voice can revoke it. No attack can break it. No darkness can outlast it. You are stepping into the portion of your life that was prophesied over you before you even knew the language to claim it. You are walking into prayers you forgot you prayed. You are receiving what you didn't realize you carried. Your silence was not a void, it was a vault. And now, the vault is open. You have not been forgotten. You have not been forsaken. You have not been ignored. You have been preserved, and the time of unveiling has arrived. What you see around you may still look unstable. They may still speak, still stare, still attempt to rewrite the truth. But the atmosphere has changed. Their words no longer have weight. Their presence no longer has power. Because heaven has closed that chapter, and you, child, are walking into your new one. It is not just a season of blessing, it is a covenant of protection. You are not being elevated for applause, you are being established for assignment. There is a weight to this moment, but it is not a burden. It is sacred authority. Michael speaks. You are no longer to engage with the noise of the wounded. Your assignment is too precious to be diluted by distractions. You do not need to respond. You do not need to explain. You do not need to prove. You simply need to carry this light and move forward. The ones who thought they defeated you will watch as you rise with no bitterness, no vengeance, only clarity, because you did not win by force. You won by obedience. You did not fight with your fists. You fought with your discernment. You did not expose with anger. You allowed the light to reveal what darkness refused to admit. This is the harvest of the hidden. This is the season where your stillness becomes a sound in the spirit, louder than any accusation. They will say, something has changed in them. But what they feel is not change. It is the revealing of who you were all along. You are not emerging, you are being acknowledged. Let them speak, let them spin, let them stare, but don't you shrink, don't you question, don't you apologize for surviving. What tried to break you in secret? You are not the wound, you are the witness. You are not what they said, you are what God spoke, and heaven will always confirm its own. Now, seal it. In your heart, declare it. It is done. It is protected. It is holy. Say it aloud or silently, write it or whisper it, mark it with fire in your soul. This is not performance. This is prophetic permanence. What heaven has declared over you is sealed. Archangel Michael now moves with finality. Guard what has been given to you. Not everything is meant to be shared. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Some were only assigned to witness your endurance, not participate in your next elevation. Walk forward with intention. Choose peace over presence. Choose stillness over spectacle. Choose wisdom over access. The weight you feel is not heaviness, it is holiness. Let no one convince you otherwise. This is your divine sealing. Your breakthrough did not come in applause. It came in silence, in discernment, in surrender. You are not entering a reward for enduring. You are stepping into the assignment of the awakened. The atmosphere is still shifting. You will feel it, and in it, you will. No, you are not alone. You were never alone. You are chosen. You are protected. You are sealed. And this is just the beginning.